Hey everyone, today is July 17th, 2015, and welcome to episode 10 of ReSergent. Now, the topic I want to discuss today, it is simply three words. Life is short. Life is short. I know that we hear people say that all the time, but it's very true. Something that is, to start off with, that's very near and dear to my heart. My mother, Claudette Sergent, she was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was at the young age of 18, and she passed away when I was still at the young age of 20 years old. She passed away on May 8th, 2007. May she rest in peace. She was only 46 at the time of her passing, and as I stated to my older brother recently, if we live as long as she did, it would mean that we have less than 20 years left, and that's just simply not long enough. An acquaintance and also a friend of the community, Jeremy Lumpy Sturgill, passed away last month very unexpectedly at the young age of 35 years old, and I had just seen him 2 days prior. He seemed perfectly fine. He was almost certainly in better health than I was a year ago. I'm pretty certain of that. It's just one of those things, though. While my health and my habits are much better than they were previously, I used to take very unnecessary risks with my health when it came to alcohol consumption at parties. And I've had many times where I stayed up for, far over 24 hours because I was committed to playing video games. At a previous job that I used to be employed by, there were some times where I would actually drink 3 or 4 Monster energy drinks in one day, not really considering that I was taking in such a high level of caffeine and also sugar, sugar being very important. In either case, in the times I'd stay up really late, I would go to sleep at some point, and I would just simply assume that I'd wake up, at some point, maybe a couple hours later, and I was always fortunate enough to be right every time. But each one of those times could have just simply been the end of me. And on that note, a few years ago, I had a really bad gallbladder attack, and I staggered into the shower in hopes that taking a shower would relieve the pain, but it actually became worse and worse. I got to a level of pain that caused me to feel that something very serious was taking place inside of my body. So, unclothed, I got out of the shower, I fell to my hands and knees, and I vomited some sort of clear fluid that I assume was bile. And then, I fainted from a combination of shock and pain. As I was going out, I clearly remember thinking that I don't want to die like this, but, fortunately I didn't. And, but at that moment, I thought that was the end of me. I thought, this is the end. This is how Tristan Sargent ends. Again, fortunately, it wasn't that sort of situation. There are many harrowing tales, such as this, that I could tell from that era of my life when my health was so disastrous. And I actually use those experiences, as well as the experiences of others, as a motivation, as I do continue to focus on improving my health. Today I was actually asked if I have a cheat day. The honest answer to that is not really. I'm trying to improve the relationship that my body has with itself. There really isn't room for cheating here. Would you ask your significant other if you could have a cheat day on them? The answer is not really. If you were to do such a thing, best of luck to you, and I hope you survive the rest of that day. But anyways, I just don't feel like it's a good tenet for establishing a healthy lifestyle, especially if it's something that's so looked forward to versus, falling in love with the process of becoming healthy and staying healthy for as long as humanly possible. When I'm running, I run to the point where I feel like I'm about to transcend to another dimension. When I do squats, when I do resistance training, when I do weights, I involuntarily dance in between sets. And why do I do that? It's because I'm very passionate about what I'm doing. And I know that, what I'm doing is going to have a very dramatic effect on my life, as well as the lives of others that become inspired by seeing how my life was versus where it's headed now. I'm not by any means perfect, and I have to remind myself of that all the time. I'm just simply a work in progress like everyone else. The words work and progress in that phrase are capitalized in my mind to provide the proper emphasis on work and progress. So there goes my 3 cents for the day. I'm not trying to be negative or anything, but today very well could be your last day. So try to live it accordingly. Peace to all, and thank you very much for watching.